Well, will Karnataka have a new state flag to assert its identity in diverse India? Well, that's what the Congress government in the state hopes. It set up a 9-member committee to design the flag and check the legal position of the move, which interestingly the Congress at the centre seems to disapprove of. It's now set off a major political row.
Will Karnataka have a new state flag to assert its identity in diverse India? The Congress government in the state has set up a 9-member committee to check the legal position of such a move.
Is there any provision in the constitution which is prohibiting a state to have its own flag? Any provision in the constitution? Have you come across any provision in the constitution?
No, sir. No, sir. There is.
Did BJP people come across the provision?
The move comes in the backdrop of protests against Hindi in the Bengaluru metro and fresh assertion of Kannada identity. Elections are also due in the state in less than a year.
ಇದು ರಾಜಕೀಯದ ಗಿಮಿಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಇದು ನಮ್ಮ ಜನರ ಭಾವನೆಗೆ ಸ್ಪಂದಿಸುವಂತಹ ರೀತಿ. ಇದು ನಮ್ಮ ಕರ್ತವ್ಯ. ಯಾಕೆ ತಪ್ಪು? ಕಮಿಟಿ ಮಾಡಿ ಒಂದು ಪರಿಶೀಲನೆಗೆ ಹಚ್ಚೋದು ತಪ್ಪ? ಯಾಕೆ ಸರ್ಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಅಧಿಕಾರ ಇಲ್ವಾ?
But the Congress at the centre is distancing itself from the plan.
Government is responding a petition from a Kannada activist. That is their freedom also.
अगर हमारे देश में एक राज्य जो इस फेडरल स्टेट का एक अंग है इस प्रकार से मांग करता है तो मुझे लगता है ये संविधान के खिलाफ है. ऐसी सरकार को तुरंत बर्खास्त करना चाहिए केंद्र सरकार ने और वहां राष्ट्रपति शासन लागू करना चाहिए.
People in Bengaluru differ in their views.
But if people want a different flag, a separate flag for their own state, then I think local government, the state government should go as per their demand and they should do it.
Separation. It's like Kannada people are separating from the Indians.
Assertion of regional identity has always been a tricky issue in a country as diverse as India. Should states have their own flags? Why not? Says the Congress government in Karnataka. With Alphonse and Govind, Maya Sharma in Bengaluru for NDTV.
Well, Mr. Krishna Sagar Rao of the BJP still with us. Senior Supreme Court advocate Sanjay Hegde joins us as well. Harish Bijur, who is the member of the Bengaluru Political Action Committee, also joins us. And Krishna Bairegowda, Minister in the Karnataka government, joining us very shortly. But Harish Bijur, let me ask you first, what do you think as a citizen of Karnataka? What do you think? Do you want your own flag?
Okay, I'm representing my personal view, and firstly I would like to say that this entire Karnataka debate, the debate on the Karnataka flag, is a needless one. If you ask me, people are asking why a flag, I would say why not, because there's nothing divisive about it. If at all, it is a very old flag, it comes from the 60s, it exists. So essentially what the state government seems to be attempting to do is take a de facto status of the flag and convert it into a de jure status.
No, but why now? I mean, the one is of course about the timing, but except for Jammu and Kashmir, no other state has its own flag in this country, and J&K is a different case because of Article 370 and the history that is there in the state. So I'm not even going to compare that. But when no other state has it, does it encourage that kind of regionalism? I mean, should the nation come first or the state come first? It does set off a certain debate about why the state should be separate.
Yeah, I think it's all about the timing. A lot of people are saying that it's coming just before the elections. Whether that's a coincidence or not, only time will tell. But if you really look at it, this is not a nationalism debate at all. It is not about nationalism. It's about federalism. Because, at the end of the day, India is a union of states, which simply means to say that every state has come together and we have made a union. And nobody is questioning the national tricolour at all. The pride you and I get in Karnataka when the national tricolour is hoisted, the goose pimples that we get is possibly just the same as everybody else. So I think it just is to say that a state wants a flag which is a secondary flag which does not want the same status as the national tricolour. So I think to that extent it doesn't matter. The United States, every state of the United States has a flag. It has a slogan. It has a logo. It has a kind of a feel for itself. So I think, federalism is what we're talking about.
All right, interesting points there and well argued, and I'll take that to Mr. Rao of the BJP. Mr. Rao, Harish Bijur arguing there that it doesn't undermine the national flag or the nation in any way. This is about every state coming together. That is what makes India. This is about federalism, and it's not such a big deal. Mr. Rao.
It's not about anything else other than an election gimmick, a pre-poll gimmick, which already fell flat and almost like a self-goal of sorts. I think the central party, Congress party, has realized that and distanced themselves, which we welcome. Because, after failing in all areas of governance and delivering misgovernance and corrupt governance for 4.5 years, today the CM of Karnataka is so bankrupt in ideology and agenda that he wants to bring, peripheral subject. Who's stopping anyone to have any emblems and logos and names and flags? I mean, nobody has an issue with that. I think he's trying to trap Bharatiya Janata Party, but we don't bite the bullet. There is a flag already for Karnataka. I think Yedurappaji hoisted that flag a couple of times. But there is only one official flag for the Union of India. So if somebody wants to make a second official flag for a state, then they have to go through a constitutional amendment. Now, talking about federalism, we are a quasi-federal nation. We are not federal, nor we are unitary. We are in between. And we cannot compare with America. America is a fully federal nation, which has independence to the outer limits of freedom for states. So that is why they have the flags. That is why they have a different constitution for every state. We don't. So unitary system, which UK adopted, has a complete control over its states and territories. Now, in India, we are in between. I think that's how our constitutional fathers wanted us to be. So the Union of India is represented by one flag, one logo, one emblem, and that's how it is. So if CM of Karnataka doesn't want, then probably he can resign and find a different land where he can have his own name, own flag, own everything. I mean, we don't have a problem. And BJP doesn't have any problem with what he wants to do. As long as he goes with the agenda, he's going to fail miserably, more miserably than last week before he made this kind of statement.
Well, let me ask Mr. Gowda of the Karnataka government. Mr. Gowda, a couple of things here apart from the BJP's attack, calling this as a pre-poll gimmick. The Central Congress has distanced itself from this, saying that they don't approve of any separate state flag for Karnataka. So what is the Chief Minister of Karnataka then doing?
I haven't come across the statement of All India Congress Committee.
I'll read it out to you if that helps.
They have, yes.
Okay, I'll tell you that, I'll just tell you that, we've got the Karnataka Chief Minister's bite. We have Mr. K.C. Venugopal, the in charge of Karnataka, the Congress in charge of Karnataka, who's saying, no, we are for one nation, one flag. This is just an examination of a petition and it is not being supported at all. I hope that helps.
Well, we will definitely discuss with them, but this in no way contradicts the national commitment of people of Karnataka or our government. So it is unfortunate that somehow this is being pitted as one against the other. I don't see where this contradiction is. So we will convey our aspirations and aspirations of people of Karnataka to All India Congress Committee as well, and we will set the context right, and that both can very happily coexist. And in fact, in the name of Unitarian unionist tendencies, if you try to suppress the aspirations of people, it will not serve anybody well in the long term.
But what is the trigger for it? Why now? Why this sudden urge to sort of have your own flag?
Why not now?
Because
anytime
is it because of the election?
People have government. Look, I mean, you want to make everything an election issue, you are welcome to do it. Does it mean that in the last 1 year, government should stop functioning and not do anything? So we are just discharging our duty. Well, some things come up as we go along. Our Chief Minister has been receiving several petitions from various sections of Karnataka about this issue. Now he has taken all the petitions and referred it to a committee. That's all we have done, and the committee will examine those. So if every action of ours in the last 1 year is going to be deemed as somehow leading up to the elections, well, you have the liberty and the freedom to do it, but we believe we have a responsibility, a constitutional duty to govern till the last day we are in power, and we hope to get re-elected as well. Till we are in power, we are going to continue to discharge our responsibilities.
That's fine. So you're
no
saying despite the
put on
Central
it.
Congress taking a different line, you're willing to take a different line on this. Sanjay Hegde, let me just ask you as a senior advocate of the Supreme Court, that does this hold up? I mean, can a state, if it wants to decide that it's going to have its own flag, and what do you personally think? Do you believe there's anything wrong with that?
Well, firstly, as Mr. Bijur said, India is a union of states. That's the first article of the Constitution. Where, as Mr. Rao said, we are a quasi-federal state. But that does not mean that the federation is totally effaced. If a state desires to have a flag, so be it. If a state doesn't want to have a flag, so be it. I'd quite like Delhi to, for instance, to have a flag of its own, because today I may identify myself more as a Delhiite than as a Kannadiga. And I'd proudly have even the Delhi flag as well as the Kannada flag, and above all, we shall have the Indian flag. The point is that we are not, contrary to what some people believe, we are not a nation of one race, one folk, one leader. One size does not fit all in this country. If within the framework of a country somebody feels impelled to represent his state, his culture through another flag, a separate flag, what's the harm in that? I don't see anything harmful. And in fact, as Mr. Bijur mentioned the US, I still remember that when I was in New Hampshire, I was pretty struck by the state flag and the motto which said live free or die. Each state in India, when it contributes its own flag, its own ethos, and we become we recognize our diversities under the unity of the nation, I think we'd be a much more stronger nation.
Well,
where this kind of homogenization, this kind of fixation as a unitary center and excluding every other voice, that is not good for India in the long run.